House to come to order. Members, proceed to your seats. Will the members please rise to the invocation delivered by Pastor Kyle McDaniel, Capital Commission State Minister of Frankfort, Kentucky, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Our Father, thank you for your love and mercy. Today is the final day of concurrence, and with that comes the important work of finalizing bills as the conclusion of session nears. I ask you to bless these legislators with the wisdom, discernment, insight, and endurance necessary to finish strong and to finish well. Lord, we confess to you our many failings and weaknesses. We ask for your forgiveness where we have fallen short and your strength where we need it the most. I believe these leaders have been called for this moment to address the many challenges before them today. Each legislator has dedicated countless hours of preparation, and I ask that you give them the right words to speak, the right heart to lead, and the right motivations to serve. The work of government is vital to the health and well-being of our communities and our great Commonwealth. I am thankful for these leaders. Will you bless each of them, meeting whatever needs they may have and relieve them of whatever burdens they carry. We lift their families up as well, as they too play an important role in the work of our General Assembly. Ultimately, Lord, we desire you to be magnified throughout our nations and beyond. This week, we, in particular, pause to meditate upon the hope we have in Christ, who showed us what real love is by suffering upon Calvary and anchoring us in the hope that the tomb is still empty. We seek, therefore, for your kingdom to come and for your will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. And in the name of your glorious Son we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, John. Mr. Speaker. Clerk will sound the chimes. Members, indicate your presence. Clerk will take the roll. Being 98 members indicating their presence, a quorum is declared and the House is ready to proceed. Next order of business, the excuse of absent members. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the absent members be excused in accordance with the House rules.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules for the purpose of allowing members to co-sponsor bills and resolutions or to submit vote modifications and have filed the proper papers with the clerk to do so.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order of business is approval of the journal. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the Clerk of the Senate.
Chair recognizes the Clerk of the Senate. Good morning, Madam Clerk.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Happy Day 57.
Happy Day 57.
The Senate has passed Senate Bill 199 with letter, the governor's veto notwithstanding, and respectfully request concurrence of this honorable body.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the journal from Tuesday, March 31, 2026, be amended to remove Senate Bill 191 from the report of the Rules Committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the journal from Tuesday, March 31, 2026, be approved as amended.
Without objection, the journal from Tuesday, March 31, 2026 is approved as amended. Next order of business, the second reading of bills. There being no need. Next order of business, report of committees. Clerk, please report.
The Appropriations and Revenue Committee has met and reports Senate Bill 185 should pass to rules with House Committee Substitute 1, an act relating to Kentucky State University and declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 263 should pass to rules with House Committee Substitute 1, an act relating to education. And the Local Government Committee has met and reports Senate Bill 9 should pass to rules with House Committee Substitute 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Senate Bill 9, Senate Bill 185, Senate Bill 263, having received two previous readings, ordered in the possession of the Rules Committee for further action. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bullet 49, the Chair of the Enrollment Committee, for an Enrollment Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Enrollment Committee has met and found the following bills to be in order and ready for your signature. House Bill 3, House Bill 5, House Bill 6, House Bill 142, House Bill 144, House Bill 169, House Bill 176, House Bill 178, House Bill 212, House Bill 236, House Bill 264, House Bill 305, House Bill 313, House Bill 366, House Bill 369, House Bill 387, House Bill 419, House Bill 480, House Bill 506, House Bill 521, House Bill 542, House Bill 566, House Bill 577, House Bill 607, House Bill 627, House Bill 642, House Bill 647, House Bill 651, House Bill 652, House Bill 676, House Bill 689, House Bill 692, House Bill 778, House Bill 816, House Joint Resolution 24, and House Joint Resolution 50.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee has been busy this morning.
Hey, the food's good, though.
Chair's about to sign House Bill 3. Chair's about to sign House Bill 5. Chair's about to sign House Bill 6. Chair's about to sign House Bill 142. Chair's about to sign House Bill 144. Chair's about to sign House Bill 169. Chair's about to sign House Bill 176. Chair's about to sign House Bill 178. Chair's about to sign House Bill 212. Chair's about to sign House Bill 236. Chair's about to sign House Bill 264. Chair's about to sign House Bill 305. Chair's about to sign House Bill 313. Chair's about to sign House Bill 366. Chair's about to sign House Bill 369. Chair's about to sign House Bill 387. Chair's about to sign House Bill 419. Chair's about to sign House Bill 480. Chair's about to sign House Bill 506. Chair's about to sign House Bill 521. Chair's about to sign House Bill 542. Chair's about to sign House Bill 566. Chair's about to sign House Bill 577. Chair's about to sign House Bill 607. Chair's about to sign House Bill 627. Chair's about to sign House Bill 642. Chair's about to sign House Bill 647. Chair's about to sign House Bill 651. Chair's about to sign House Bill 652. Chair's about to sign House Bill 676. Chair's about to sign House Bill 689. Chair's about to sign House Bill 692. Chair's about to sign House Bill 778. Chair's about to sign House Bill 816. Chair's about to sign House Joint Resolution 24. Chair's about to sign House Joint Resolution 50. Thank you. Next order of business, the orders of the day. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Resolution 51. Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Rule 51 be suspended to take action on bills other than concurrence.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bill 9, 185, 263 be taken from the Committee on Rules and placed in the orders of the day for action today.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bill 199 be taken from the Rules Committee and placed in the orders of the day for action of the Governor's veto.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Resolution 119, 133, 134 be taken from the Committee on Committees and brought to the House floor.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Resolution 126 be taken from the Committee on Rules and brought to the House floor.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bills 10, 52, 77, 249, Senate Joint Resolution 75, and Senate Joint Resolution 62 be taken from the Committee on Rules and placed in the orders of the day for action today.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Davis for an announcement to the majority.
Chair recognizes the lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, upon recess, the majority caucus will caucus in the temporary chambers caucus room.
Members take note. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move that you, sir, that the House be in recess till the call of the chair.
House stand in recess to the call of the chair. House come to order. We are in the orders of the day. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 36 with Senate amendments attached thereto be taken from its place in the orders today for concurrence or non-concurrence.
Motion is that House Bill 36 with Senate amendments attached thereto be taken from its place in the orders of the day for concurrence or non-concurrence. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 36, an act relating to respiratory care. Representative Bratcher.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, would you have the clerk report Senate Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
Senate Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 36.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, the House does concur.
Motion is that the House does concur with Senate Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the Senate Committee Substitute? Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41 for discussion of the Senate Committee Substitute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have a question.
He will yield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What does the Senate Committee Substitute do?
Sure, but the Senate Committee Substitute either adds the dietitians compact that we passed in this chamber, but that might be the floor amendment. The Senate, if that's the case, then we add the athletic trainers compact. All they're doing is adding House bills to this other House bill, rolling them all together. I cannot tell you if it was the committee substitute that did the athletic trainers or the floor amendment that did the athletic trainers or vice versa with the dietitians, but that's what both those do.
Lady from Jefferson.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion is that the House does concur with Senate Committee Substitute 1. Those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House does concur. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I would ask the clerk to report Senate Floor Amendment 2.
Clerk, please report.
Senate Floor Amendment 2 to House Bill 36.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House does concur.
Motion is that the House does concur with Senate Floor Amendment 2. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House does concur with Senate Floor Amendment 2. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, House Bill 36 is amended by Senate Committee Substitute 1, and Senate Floor Amendment number 2 does prove that the Senate is capable of efficiencies. We hope they will continue that trend the rest of the day. I move final passage of House Bill 36 is amended in the Senate and concurred in the House.
Question before the body is final passage of House Bill 36 is amended in the Senate and concurred in by the House. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 90 members voting aye, no members voting nay. House Bill 36 is amended in the Senate and concurred in by the House is finally passed. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, would you have the clerk report the Senate Committee Amendment 1, the title?
Clerk, please report.
Senate Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to House Bill 36.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House does concur.
Motion is the House does concur with Senate Floor Amendment 2, the title. Those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House does concur. Gentleman from McCracken.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bill 9 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 9 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 9, an act relating to housing districts, Senator Mills.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Carter for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Carter for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please ask the clerk to report House Committee Substitute Number 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 9.
Gentleman from Carter.
Move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Gentleman from Campbell, 67, you wish to discuss the committee sub? You're recognized to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to clarify, because this, I guess, came out just not too long ago. Can you briefly explain some of the provisions in this committee substitute?
Gentleman from Carter.
Yes. There are 26 sections in this committee sub. I will go through each section as quickly as possible. Sections 1 through 6 incorporate concepts from the original Senate Bill 9. Section 7 incorporates concepts from House Bill 536, sponsored by the gentleman from Rockcastle. Sections 8 and 9 incorporate concepts from Senate Bill 224, sponsored by Senator Mills. Sections 10 through 11 incorporate concepts from House Bill 730. It was sponsored by the gentleman from Campbell 68. House Bill 617 from the lady from Jefferson 31, and House Bill 530 sponsored by the gentleman from Round 99. Sections 12 through 14 incorporate concepts from Senate Bill 233 sponsored by Senator Neal. Section 15 incorporates concepts from Senate Bill 335 sponsored by Senator Mills. It's also commonly referred to as the Golden Girls Bill, like the television show. Section 16 and 17 incorporates concepts from House Bill 617, sponsored by the lady from Jefferson 31. Section 18 deals with short-term rentals. Section 19 incorporates concepts from Senator Mills' Senate Bill 225. Section 20 incorporates concepts from Senate Bill 61 of the 2025 session, sponsored by Senator Richardson. Section 21 incorporates House Bill 622 that passed off this floor, sponsored by the gentleman from Mason. And sections 22 through 26 incorporate House Bill 338 that was sponsored and passed off this floor, sponsored by the lady from Jefferson 31.
Gentleman Campbell.
Thank you for that. May I speak briefly on the committee substitute?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate the explanation. Obviously, there is a whole lot going on here, and I know we value efficiency sometimes, but it also becomes problematic when so many good things do get mixed in. I want to speak specifically around Section 18, preempting local regulation or local zoning of short-term rentals. Certainly in my part of the state, this is a big issue. Dozens of municipalities have thoughtfully and carefully considered this issue over many, many years, expending a lot of funds of these local cities on how best to make our towns a community to make sure our towns have affordable housing, to make sure when people come to work in this state, they're able to afford a house, and they don't become, and when our neighborhoods are there, look, I live close to Cincinnati, and there are big football days or big things going on in Cincinnati. I don't want my neighborhood to be turned into a bunch of short-term rentals for party houses. It destroys the fabric of our community and can make life in some of these towns unlivable if there aren't thoughtful and appropriate controls on short-term rentals. So as much as I love so many parts of this committee substitute and the original bill, I'm going to have to encourage us to not adopt this committee substitute. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41 for discussion of the committee substitute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I ask a question and speak on the bill?
You may do one at a time.
One at a time, yes, sir. So, I don't know who's answering the questions, but this looks like it's going to prohibit our local governments from enacting any kind of prohibition or stopping Airbnbs in people's or in their communities. Looks like that's on line 11 of page 44.
Gentleman from Carter.
All right, so to answer your question, this committee sub that is before us would prevent conditional use permits for short-term rentals, and it would also prohibit density-based restrictions on those. But I guess I would also follow up and say that any duly enacted ordinance would still be in effect, so the short-term rental properties would have to go by the same rules as every other property in that neighborhood.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I guess I'll speak on the bill.
Recognized to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So it does say a local government shall not adopt or enforce any ordinance, regulation, or utilize any other means that requires a conditional use permit or similar permit to be obtained to use a property as a short-term rental. And let me tell you, my neighborhood associations will be up in arms when they see that we're considering this and probably are past it, because it does prohibit your governments all across the state from having any kind of permit or lease or anything, any kind of hold over short-term rentals. And somebody came and stayed 2 days a week, you could have 12 people in and out of that same rental in a month. 12 different folks revving up and coming back and taking up all the parking. So I think that this was, we tried to get this through last year. I think it was part of a bill last year that failed. So here we are again with it. And I wonder if there has been, and I doubt, any kind of conversations with all of our local governments across the board, with all of our neighborhood associations across the board, that are trying to keep their communities a neighborhood without the scourge of short-term rentals. And folks coming in they don't know, folks coming in that could be robbers or bad types or whatever, that are renting for 1 or 2 days, that are casing the neighborhood. So I have some real concerns about this part of the bill. As the gentleman said, there's some good things in this piece of legislation, but there's also some very frightening things. So I would urge the body to look at this very carefully and think about what your local officials might think about this, and what your local governments might think about this, since it just came out of committee today at about 9:15. I'm sure no one knows about it yet. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 36 for discussion of the committee substitute.
Yes, sir. I'd like to speak on the sub.
Yes, sir.
I attended the committee hearing this morning to take a look at this bill and read very, very fast. And in general, I think there's some great things in the bill. People have worked hard on this. I will be voting yes, but I would like to call the Chamber's attention and the Senate's attention to the fact that in Section 17, Sub 2, there is a clause that would effectively remove citizen input. For instance, if someone had a single-family neighborhood abutting commercial property, I really don't see anything that would require a developer to consult the neighborhood or even do a traffic study before they built a 4-story apartment building looking over your back fence. And I think that public input is very important, and I would encourage us collectively to strike that provision 17 sub 2 at some point in the legislative process in the next 12 hours. Thanks, sir.
Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette 76 for discussion. The committee substitute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on the substitute?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I agree with what many of my colleagues have said here, that there are a lot of good additions here. I also have a lot of concerns about the short-term rental pieces. I happen to represent kind of the epicenter of Lexington short-term rental challenges in the Kenwick neighborhood. There are 40 to 50 documented Airbnbs operating within that small neighborhood. It has had major detrimental effect on the fabric of the neighborhood, which is closely knit. A lot of concerns coming out of it, and also making the value of home prices in that area skyrocket because people are buying them instead of to live, to use them as short-term rentals. What that has meant is that a lot of long-term residents can no longer afford to live in the neighborhood, and it's having a huge problem, making a huge problem for many residents there. So I agree that there are great things in this, but because of that short-term rental piece, I hope that we can negotiate that bit as it goes through the legislative process. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette 75 for discussion. The committee substitute.
Thank you. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
He will yield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am reading, like the other representative, as quickly as possible to try and see what's in here. My question relates to Section 15. Section 15 can be found on pages 40 and 41. What it seems to say, and I'm inviting myself to be corrected if I'm misunderstanding, what it seems to say is that no local governments can adopt or enforce any rules, regulations, or so on, limiting the number of people per bedroom or rules related to familial or non-familial relationship or marital status among the occupants. I believe that Section 8 and other government housing programs do enforce rules about families living together and not allowing non-members of the family to live in a government unit. My question is this, am I understanding correctly that we're not going to enforce the current laws relating to who can live in a government housing unit?
Gentleman from Carter.
I would not phrase it that way. I believe that what the committee sub does in Section 15, and as I stated earlier, it is dubbed as the Golden Girls Bill. It would prevent the listed local governments and the special districts that are included from restricting lawful residential occupancy below a specified level or based on familial relationship or marital status.
Lady from Fayette.
Will he yield to another question?
He will yield.
While I'm not completely convinced that it's phrased in the way you've said, I will accept that for the sake of argument. Are individual property owners, not governments, able to make those same restrictions? So could they say, for example, for a university apartment building, that no more than one student could be in one bedroom?
Gentleman from Carter.
I believe it would apply to, if you look on page 40, line 24, it lists a city, county, charter county government, urban county government, unified local government, consolidated local government, or special district that this would apply to.
Lady from Fayette.
Okay, I appreciate that clarification. I can't come up, may I speak on the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I can't come up with any examples right off the top of my head of local governments restricting the number of people per bedroom to less than 2, but it must be here for some reason. I really wanted to vote for Senate Bill 9. As we've gone through this session, talking for the third year in a row about the need for housing in Kentucky, I was so encouraged that the members of the Senate figured out how to crack this nut. I had a very similar idea. It makes sense to me that we ought to match infrastructure dollars with housing development. And they figured out how to do it because they're smart. I really admire this bill. But the Christmas tree that's resulted today, unfortunately, seems to be filled with breakable ornaments that just won't suit my children. And I don't mean to be funny, but the situation is this. We need housing reform. And some of the things that are included in this bill are actually going to hurt our supply of housing. While I do support a homeowner's right to use their property in a way that they see fit, I do also support local control over the density of short-term rentals. And I have to recognize that for every single-family home that turns into a short-term rental, that's a Kentucky family that can't purchase their first home. That's a set of kids who are going to have to go from rental to rental instead of being able to come home after they go to college to that family house. Our choice to prioritize short-term rentals over Kentucky families is unfortunately the nail for me that is sealing my no vote on SB 9, a bill that I have talked about a lot because it was a really good bill. Kentucky families need comprehensive, robust reforms, and some of them are in here. And I am so grateful to those people who led the task force because there was really good work done there, and some of it is here. But unfortunately, the poison pill is just too much, and I'll be a no.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Covered a lot of questions. I will very briefly go through this. Senate Bill 9 is a multi-part housing bill addressing barriers across both the development side and the housing access side. On the development side, it addresses infrastructure costs, project feasibility, vested rights, objector lawsuits, permitting delays, parking mandates, and residential use in commercial areas. On the housing access side, it addresses short-term rental uniformity, administrative regulation transparency, and the long-term effects of dismissed forcible detainer filings. The bill is structured to reduce cost, increase predictability, shorten timelines, and expand housing opportunity while preserving building safety, fire safety, nuisance enforcement, and targeted local authority. There are no questions. I move for passage of Senate Bill 9 as amended by House Committee Substitute Number 1.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 9 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette 93 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I ask a question of the sponsor, please?
He will yield.
Thank you. Sponsor, I'm still trying to digest everything. With the bill as the changes have been adopted, I'm looking for clarification. If a city chooses to create an ordinance where no short-term rentals currently exist, can they say, we will not accept it, like you may not create a short-term rental here? And I'll give you an example. We visited San Francisco not too long ago. We stayed in a really nice part of the city, and there was only one short-term rental there, and all the neighbors knew it, and none of them were happy about it. So they actually zoned that area out so no more could come in. Is that allowed under this bill as it is now?
Gentleman from Carter.
Committee sub would prohibit a local government from adopting ordinances that are bans or de facto bans of short-term rentals. However, it does create a registry and essentially creates a what I would categorize or call a 3 strikes rule. So if you have perhaps ordinance violations, it would give that locality the opportunity to either A, reject a conditional use permit, or secondly, it could enforce or allow for a conditional use permit upon that property.
Lady from Fayette.
Thank you. I appreciate that answer. And just experiencing what we did visiting another city, I'm going to have to vote no against this bill. Talking to the neighbors, they saw this as a blight, as initially a loss of control until they rezoned. And so when we take away local control, we take away that option. So I will be a no on this bill. Thank you.
Question before the body is passage for Senate Bill 9 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Clerk, sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Means 71 members voting aye, 21 members voting nay. Senate Bill 9 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1 is passed. Gentleman from Carter.
Mr. Speaker, please ask the clerk to report House Committee Amendment Number 1, the title amendment.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to Senate Bill 9.
Gentleman from Carter.
Move adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Carter.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bill 199 with the governor's veto message attached thereto be taken from its place in the orders today for consideration of the governor's veto.
Motion is that Senate Bill 199 with the governor's veto attached thereto be taken from the orders of the day for consideration of the governor's veto. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 199, an act relating to pesticide labeling. Senator Howell.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, would you have the clerk report the veto message to Senate Bill 199?
Clerk, please report.
Veto message from the governor. I, Andy Beshear, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, pursuant to the authority granted under Section 88 of the Kentucky Constitution, do hereby veto the following. Senate Bill 199 of the 2026 regular session of the General Assembly in its entirety.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move final passage of Senate Bill 199, the veto of the governor notwithstanding.
Question before the body is final passage of Senate Bill 199, the governor's veto notwithstanding. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Fayette 45 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Wish to speak on the bill?
Yes, sir.
I won't take as much time as last time. I spoke already about how Kentucky is #1 in the nation in cancer incidents and #1 in the nation in cancer deaths. Some news came out, though, since we passed this bill originally, and I've got a website from Reuters pulled up on here right now. It came out yesterday, March 31st. There's a chemical, and I don't have the name of it memorized, and I probably couldn't give it to you anyway properly because it's all these letters and stuff, a scientific name. But it came out that this is in bug repellent, which would be considered a pesticide, which would be considered under Senate Bill 199. In 2018 alone was found to have caused 1.97 million preterm births and linked to the deaths of 74,000 newborns. This just came out yesterday. Y'all can look it up. It's on Reuters. These things would not be found out if the discovery phase of trials do not happen. And what I said on the House floor then, and what I'm going to say on the House floor now is, by shutting the door to the opportunities to take these cases to court in the state of Kentucky, that discovery phase of the trial never happens. And now we're talking about a new chemical, or not, maybe not new, but now we're finding out newly to us, a chemical that does relate to pesticides, that is responsible for over 1 million in 1 year alone, preterm births, and over 74,000 newborns. This is not hypothetical. This is lives. It's children's lives. It's mothers who are expecting that are on the line here, and I would call on us to do the right thing, put our egos aside, put our division with the governor aside, do the right thing, uphold this governor's veto, because that's what's best for the Commonwealth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 199, the governor's veto notwithstanding. Clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 56 members voting aye, 32 members voting nay. Senate Bill 199, the governor's veto notwithstanding, is finally passed. Gentleman from McCracken.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bill 263 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion is that Senate Bill 263 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 263, an act relating to education. Senator West.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Barron for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Barron for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 263 deals with schools of innovation. It permits flexibility for school districts, permits waivers to develop schools of innovation pilot projects. Now, these pilot projects, and we talked about this a while ago about local control, they must be approved by the local Board of Education. And at this time, we could have the clerk report House Committee Substitute 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 263.
Gentleman from Barron.
Mr. Speaker, I move for adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Barron.
Mr. Speaker, at this time, I will be willing to take any questions on Senate Bill 263 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.
Question before the bodies. Passage of Senate Bill 263 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 32 for discussion of the matter.
Yes, may I speak on the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
So we heard this morning in A&R, and I asked a question. I'm not going to ask it again to the gentleman, but I'm just going to discuss what I asked and the answer I received. So there's a section in this bill that allows school districts to ask for a waiver regarding education service providers. Now, education service providers are very common under charter school systems, and oftentimes these education service providers, like we have with Cloverport right now, will create a contract that is called a 100% sweep contract. And what that means is that the school district maintains a little bit of money to manage it, but the education service provider gets everything. Local money, state money, federal money, and anything that they don't spend becomes their profit. I'm gravely concerned about the potential for this School of Innovation to be misused under what is currently happening with education service providers nationwide. In addition, I think that if there are statutes and regulations that need to be waived to improve these schools of innovation, then we need to think about having fewer regulations and statutes restricting our public schools. So on the surface, it sounds like a good idea, but I have grave concerns about what the consequences may be. And it sounds an awful lot like a charter school to me. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette, 75, for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to speak on the bill.
Yes, ma'am.
There is inherent danger in deregulating anything. And when it comes to the education of our students, that gives me even greater cause. The existence of bad actors in other states who game the charter school system gives me great pause. I worry that a bill like this opens the door for bad actors to come to Kentucky. And so after committee meeting, which was just about 2 hours ago when we heard this bill for the first time, I asked for drafters to draft an amendment that would restrict the ability of local boards of education to enter into a contract with any education service provider who has been prohibited from providing services in another state. I know, because I just filed this moments ago, that it won't be on your bill books and we'll have to suspend the rules in order to consider it. But I just want to invite you to think about whether you want a corporation from another state who have been found so poor that they've been restricted from operating in another state. Do you want to give them the opportunity to come here and miseducate Kentucky kids? I don't. So the bill does what it does, but this is just saying we don't want bad actors who are prohibited from doing their work in other states to come to Kentucky. So with that, I move that we would suspend the rules, Mr. Speaker, in order to hear my amendment.
Motion of the lady from Fayette, 75, is for suspension of the rules for the purpose of allowing the lady from Fayette, 75's floor amendment 1 to be considered and acted upon. Motion to suspend the rules is non-debatable, requires a constitutional majority of 51. Roll call is open for your vote. Those in favor of suspension of the rules vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Have all members supporting a suspension of the rules recorded an aye vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 18 members voting aye, motion to suspend the rules falls short of the 51 vote threshold. Lady from Fayette, 75, the floor is still yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're not yet to midnight, but I think the decorum is starting to wear thin for a lot of us. And I will restrain my tongue, although it's very hard at this moment. Kentucky kids deserve to be educated by proven good educators. You all just decided that bad actors are fine. I don't get it.
Question before the bodies. Passage of Senate Bill 263 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Chair recognizes the lady from Kenton 63 for explanation of vote not to exceed 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in an abundance of caution, I'm going to abstain.
Madam Clerk, please let the record reflect the lady from Kenton 63's abstention. Clerk will take the roll. There being 75 members voting aye, 18 members voting nay, and 1 abstention, Senate Bill 263, as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, is passed. Gentleman from Barron.
Move for the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that Senate Bill 185 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 185 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 185, an act relating to Kentucky State University and declaring an emergency. Senator McDaniel.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Jefferson 42 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 42 for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I begin, I would like to ask for a bit of grace. This is the first time that I've been in this position, and more than likely, I'm probably going to say something wrong. But, Mr. Speaker, I ask the clerk to report the House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 185.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 185.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The substitute, colleagues, is a very important piece of legislation that shows an example of what collaboration between the General Assembly, both parties, the community, the faculty and staff, and the students of Kentucky State University can do once we all work together. The bill is about the historic Kentucky State University, by which for 140 years it has hailed as Kentucky's only public historically black college and universities. This bill the substitute seeks to elaborate on the pathway forward. And before I go into it, colleagues, if you would indulge, I'd like to just give some thanks to the gentleman from Barron 23, the gentleman from McCracken, the gentleman from Spencer, the gentleman from Todd, the gentleman from Rockcastle, the gentleman from Fayette 77, and the lady from Jefferson 43. Colleagues, the substitute does a few substantial things that I'd like to walk you through if you're following along on your screens. Number one, it recognizes Kentucky State as an 1890s land-grant university and that it is Kentucky's only publicly historically black college university. It also says that it shall be a 4-year residential polytechnic institution that focuses on highly technical, industry-based applied learning and offers liberal studies and polytechnic programs that are aligned with the workforce needs of the Commonwealth and consistent with the historic mission of an HBCU. It further goes to clarify certain fiscal procedures necessary for the continued success of Kentucky State University by increasing the expenditure allotment to $20,000 with the approval of the Council of Post-Secondary Education. That is also followed up by some monthly reporting standards. It does some other things, colleagues, that I'd like to walk you through in relation to the programs that are offered on the university in person. It does say that Kentucky State, in collaboration with the Council of Post-Secondary Education, can offer 10 programs that are of liberal studies. It excludes 10 academic areas of study. It excludes any program that is of the following: those that are of those that are online, those that are in the College of Education, and those determined by the Council of Post-Secondary Education to be necessary to the university's mission. Several members of the community, student body, and alumni have had questions as it relates to the students who have balances that are in arrears, and this substitute addresses several of those concerns, namely those students who have balances that are above $1,000. And the substitute simply says that if any student has a balance of over $1,000, that there would be an active payment plan put in place. And if that payment plan is active and current, that those students would be allowed to remain on campus as of the substitute. I'm going to round home base, Mr. Speaker, and conclude with just 3 other things that the substitute does. In terms of admission criteria, it codifies that it should be a 2.5 GPA on a 4.0 scale. It also says that a composite ACT score of 18 or equivalent SAT score would be there as well. And it also meets the criteria for discretionary undergraduate admission under the alternative admission standards from the Council of Post-Secondary Education. Credit to the gentleman from Barrett 23 as it relates to transfer students from an accredited post-secondary institution allowing for 24 credit hours, same GPA, as well members of the armed forces, graduates of non-public schools, non-traditional age students, and those students with dual credits as well. Also, Mr. Speaker, this substitute says that on campus, the student population has a minimum of 1,000 students. Now, I also want to clarify that it is a 4-year residential institution as well. One of the last community concerns, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, was the presence of historically black fraternities and sororities. Any fraternity and sorority on campus in good standing is allowed to remain on campus without having to reapply. Any organization that is not of good standing would have to reapply anyway. It does some other substantive changes, but at the risk of going over and forgetting what I'm supposed to say, I am going to end by saying again, thank you to the collaborative effort here, Mr. Speaker, and I move adoption of House Committee Substitute 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Jefferson.
Excuse me, Mr. Speaker, I was holding my breath for that one. So, Mr. Speaker, if there are no other questions related to that, I move passage of Senate Bill 185 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.
Question before the body. This passage of Senate Bill 185 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the gentleman from McCracken for discussion of the matter.
Mr. Speaker, would the gentleman yield to a question?
He will yield.
Gentlemen, did you say this is the first bill you've presented on the House floor?
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Mr. Speaker, you all can't see it right now, but I'm redder than an apple.
Gentleman from McCracken.
But yes, sir.
Gentlemen, can you tell the body what the majority floor leader, or would you yield to another question, sir?
He will yield.
Gentlemen, can you tell the body what the majority floor leader told you to say should anybody ask you a question on the House floor?
Gentleman from Jefferson.
I believe the gentleman said to yield to the gentleman from McCracken.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I was looking forward to answering my own question, but he didn't follow instructions perfectly. You've done a great job, gentlemen. Thank you for your efforts today. Happy April Fool's Day.
Question before the body. This passage of Senate Bill 185 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote.
Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? The chair recognizes the gentleman from Spencer for explanation of vote not to exceed 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm sure many of you know that back in 2022, Kentucky State University was facing a serious challenge. I worked on House Bill 250. We were able to sustain them at that time, and I'm just honored here today to see this next step. It is a reset. It is a hard reset, but I believe it is necessary. I want to thank the gentleman from Jefferson 42 and everyone who's worked so hard to get us to this point, and I look forward to KSU growing, being stronger, and seeing its graduates and students go on and do great things in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Fayette 77 for explanation of vote not to exceed 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to commend the A&R committee and its members and the gentleman from Jefferson for his hard work on the amendments. I wanted to put into the record so that we would understand that Kentucky State University is a staple for this state and for HBCUs all over the country. Kentucky State was formed just as a short history lesson. Kentucky State University was formed during segregation when African Americans could not attend predominantly white institutions. Kentucky State was formed in 1886 and has proceeded to educate young African Americans in this state and beyond. That it's important to realize and recognize the importance of Kentucky State University, and the students, faculty, staff, and alumni filled the hearing room today and made it known that Kentucky State is a part of the fabric of Kentucky, of the Commonwealth. I'm not a graduate of Kentucky State University, but I am a product of Kentucky State University, a proud product of Kentucky State University. The teachers that graduated from Kentucky State University came all over Kentucky to segregated areas of our state, and they taught young black kids like me. And we are the product of those people that went over and above and beyond the call of duty. And we stand tall because we stand on the shoulders of giants. And I said that this morning, and I wanted it to say that this afternoon, and so that it will be on record. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from McCracken for explanation of vote.
Mr. Speaker, I want to explain my yes vote, and so many eloquent things have been said here, but it's very important to me that Kentucky State is a success. I believe wholeheartedly in this president and his administration down at Kentucky State University is going to turn this institution around and make it the great institution that it once was and can be again, Mr. Speaker. I also want to sing accolades to our friends in the Senate. Senator from Kenton, who's come a long way on this journey to get here, but he also, I believe, shares the vision that we want. The General Assembly fully supports Kentucky State University and wants them to be a success. Mr. Speaker, I'm proudly voting yes today.
Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. Being 90 members voting aye, 1 member voting nay, Senate Bill 185, as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, is passed. Gentleman from Jefferson 42.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of everyone that loves Kentucky State University, and a special thanks to both chambers, I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, suspend the rules and yield to the lady from Grayson for action on a resolution.
Chair recognizes the lady from Grayson.
Thank you. Would the clerk report legislative citation 99?
Clerk, please report.
And read by title only.
House Resolution 126, Representative Heverin, a resolution urging the federal government to provide states with increased flexibility Citation 98, Representative Wilson. Citation 99, Representative Heverin. Citation of celebration. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors the Grayson County Historical Society in Litchfield, Kentucky.
Lady from Grayson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I apologize for all the confusion. This is just a citation of celebration honoring the Historical Society for celebrating 50 years of work that they've completed in Grayson County. We are grateful for their work and looking forward to celebrating them in June for their event. I would move adoption of the citation.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Kraken.
The lady from Grayson, this time for a resolution.
Like deja vu all over again. Chair recognizes the lady from Grayson.
Would the clerk please report House Resolution 126 by title only?
Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 126, Representative Heverin, a resolution urging the federal government to provide states with increased flexibility to design and test innovative approaches that reduce barriers to employment and promote economic self-sufficiency among individuals and families receiving public assistance.
Lady from Grayson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This resolution, in layman's terms, would just encourage the federal government to address the benefits cliff that so many Kentuckians face, as well as Americans across the United States. I would move for adoption of House Resolution 126.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Clark for action on a legislative citation.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I have the clerk to report citation 101 by title only?
Clerk, please report.
Citation 101, Representative Dotson. Citation of achievement. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors the members and coaches of the George Rogers Clark High School Cardinal basketball team.
Gentleman from Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 2 weeks ago, I had the distinct honor of standing here and doing a legislative citation for our George Rogers Clark Hoops ladies basketball team who just won the state championship. Now I'm back a week later standing here and honoring the boys championship in the Sweet 16 Saturday before last. What a distinct honor that is for me to have. I think it was, we looked it up, 100 years since we've had both the boys and girls win at the same school. And so I'm here to give honor to these young men who over the 2025-26 season, the Cardinals amassed an impressive season record of 33-4, captured top honors in both the 40th District and 10th Region tournaments, and ultimately brought home the coveted state championship title after defeating St. Xavier High School by a score of 58-50 to win the 2026 UK Healthcare Boys Basketball Sweet 16 tournament. Inasmuch as the members of the GRC boys basketball team, under the stellar leadership of the head coach Josh Cook and his exemplary staff, have demonstrated remarkable ability, perseverance, skill, and have brought such tremendous honor and acclaim to GRC High School and Winchester and Clark County communities. And so today, I just want to honor them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I move for adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the Clerk of the Senate.
Chair recognizes the Clerk of the Senate. Welcome back, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, the Senate is returning Senate Bill 198 and requests that this honorable body recede from the amendment. I have a letter on House Bill 62, and Letters on House Bill 67, 257, 267, and 869. That's it.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir.
Lots of letters. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, would you have suspend the rules and ask the clerk to introduce House Concurrent Resolution 67?
Without objection, so ordered. Clerk, please report.
House Concurrent Resolution 67, Representative Rudy, a concurrent resolution adjourning the General Assembly until April 14th, 2026.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Concurrent Resolution 67 be taken from the Committee on Rules, or Committee on Committees, and placed in the orders of the day.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Resolution 135 be taken from the Committee on Committees and brought to the House floor.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, we're going to break for a recess. Come back. I think the cafeteria closes here at 2 o'clock, I am told, but we're probably going to take about an hour and a half break. So, Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the House would be in recess till the call of the chair.
Gentlemen, before I act on that motion.
Our Enrollment Committee. Okay.
We are going to appoint a conference committee.
All right.
Appears that our friends in the Senate did not concur with our changes in Senate Bill 198. So the following members are appointed to a conference committee, and if necessary, a subsequent free conference committee on Senate Bill 198. Gentleman from Bourbon, chair. Gentleman from Johnson. Gentleman from Bullitt, 26. Lady from Jefferson, 43. House stand in recess to the call of the chair.